We are absolutely not playing no motherfucking games with anybody. Welcome back to the Trill Pill. Welcome back to the Trill World Order. I am the Trill Pill. I had that switched up. Every once in a while, I feel the need to do this show. I love this show. I've been trying to figure out, man, how I'm gonna get this show in. All the time I just be on some lyrical, miracle, spiritual shit, but sometimes I gotta let loose. And my other hobby about this shit is strange news. So I got four strange news topics to put off in your brain. Welcome to the True World Order where everything is strange. So don't expect the norm. Matter of fact, defy the norm. That's what we do here. So, like I said before, man, this is my strange news show. I got four strange topics, shit that you probably never ever heard before, and I'm gonna get to them right now. All right. So, first of all, we are going to go straight to Australia. We're going to go to Australia because they have some cattle cum smuggling motherfuckers in Australia. That's right. You heard me. Cattle cum smuggling. Cattle cum smuggling. Not just any type of cattle cum, though. I know it's disgusting shit, but this is what's going on, and this is the Trill World Order. So we got Australian men accused of stealing $100,000 worth of Wagyu cattle semen plus the embryos. Now, although cattle rustling these days mostly occurs in old Western movies, an Australian man allegedly attempted a 21st century version of it. Eddie Kettle Frazier of Grafton, New South Wales, is accused of stealing a liquid nitrogen tank that was filled with $100,000 worth of Wagyu cattle semen, while also allegedly stealing cattle embryos and fraudulently obtaining Wagyu cattle at a bargain price. He was on the black market for that Wagyu. He found out that was going to be a lick, so he hit the lick on the Wagyu and thought he had the drop on the Wagyu, $100,000 worth of cattle semen. Now, the 34-year-old was arrested Tuesday after a year-long investigation and charged with 20 offenses, including cattle theft, animal cruelty, and obtaining financial advantage by deception. That's some brand new shit, which means he got the drop. You know what I'm saying? So somebody gave him the drop. Say, man, all y'all drug dealers out there, y'all know what happened. There's somebody on the block. He's selling them things for 18. Let's just throw a number out there, 18 and 19. So somebody come on the block and sell them for 15. Everybody gonna start going for the 15. Hell yeah, that's a good price for what you got for the quality. Shit like that. Now, the gist of the story is that Fraser's employee, Sumo Wagyu Genetics, asked him to sell 200 empty cattle, a term used for heifers that are unable to carry a calf. Now, authorities said that Fraser then used a third party to purchase 114 other animals himself. So he already had the inside plug on the cattle and the cattle cum, right? Now, among the cattle he purchased without his employer's knowledge were 45 highly valuable full-blood Wagyu cows and heifers. Y'all know that Wagyu beef is expensive, so he was trying to hit a big lick. Now, according to the investigator Cameron Whiteside from the NSW Police Rural Crime Prevention Team, now police would allege that the man sold 45 full-blood Wagyu cows and heifers as a part of a sale, contrary to his employer's direction. Now, investigators said that reducing the price of the Wagyu cattle price for their highly marbled meat netted Frazier almost $100,000. And in the course of investigating Frazier, they also revealed that a liquid nitrogen tank containing Wagyu bull semen had an estimated value of $100,000 as well as cattle embryos. So we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that's just on face value. Whiteside said. Then you got to look at the future benefit of breeding capabilities of that stock as well. I'm talking about millions of dollars worth of that Wagyu meat. Now, investigators who carried out search warrants earlier this year also ordered Fraser to obtain veterinary treatment for 6 sick Wagyu bulls they encountered, but he ultimately contracted a veterinarian who produced false documents claiming to have treated the bulls when he hadn't done so, authorities allege. 2 other animals later on died. The unidentified vet, 48, is accused of committing an aggravated act of animal cruelty and failing to provide veterinary treatment. And they'll be in court due in August. So I'm gonna keep tabs on that for sure. We want to know what happened. We have to know what happened to the cattle cum. That is a wild story. That shit came across my shit, and the people hit me up. Shout out to the trillions. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to the trillions after they hit me up. They rung the hotline for the Trill World Order and said, hey, it's somebody out here in Australia, they stealing cattle cum. And I said, you know what, send me that story. And they sent it to me, and god damn it, here we are. Let's move on. Now, we also We're gonna find some strange shit. And this is all my people out there in South Carolina. I got some radioactive wasps ready to get on your motherfucking ass. You understand what I'm saying? A radioactive wasp nest with radiation levels 10 times of what is allowed under regulations was found at a facility that once produced parts for U.S. nuclear weapons, federal officials said. The wasp nest was sprayed to kill wasps, then bagged as radiological waste, said the U.S. Department of Energy report released last week. No wasps were found at the site near Aiken in South Kakalaki. Now, investigators say that the contamination is not related to a nuclear waste leak and that there were no impact on the environment or the public that we know of. This is how superheroes turn to superheroes. The goddamn Spider-Man got bit by a radioactive spider. Somebody might get stung by a radioactive wasp and turn and start doing some wild shit. Now, investigators say that the contamination is not related to a nuclear waste leak. Whew, a lot of reading. And that there was no impact to the environment or the public. Environmental groups have criticized the government's handling of the situation. Now, the nest was discovered by workers who routinely inspect for nuclear radiation at the Savannah River site near Aiken on the 3rd of July. It was found on a post nearby where millions of gallons of liquid nuclear waste are stored, but there was no leak from the waste tanks, the report said. Now, investigators attribute dangerously high levels found on the nest to be what is called on-site legacy radioactive contamination, the residual radioactivity that remains from the time when the site was actively producing parts for the nuclear bombs during the Cold War. That's a long ass motherfucking time. Now, the site opened in the 1950s when it was creating plutonium to be, this is definitely a superhero story right here. It was creating plutonium to be used in the core of nuclear bombs. It continues to operate today, but with the focus on nuclear material for power plants. Now, the Energy Department report notes that the wasps that live within the nest would have significantly lower radiation levels than the nest itself. That's bullshit. It also points out that the wasps generally fly only a few hundred feet from their nest, and that the nest was found in the middle of a 310 square mile Savannah River site, meaning there is little chance they flew outside of the facility. That's bullshit. No contamination was found in the area. That's bullshit. The report notes there were no impacts to workers, the environment, or the public that we motherfucking know. It might be a whole human out here with a wasp ass stinging shit. They might keep him way up under the motherfucking lab. Now, Savannah River Site Watch, a watchdog group that monitors the site, said that many questions remain unanswered. Of course they are. I'm as mad as a hornet that, wow, I'm as mad as a hornet. You know, that's crazy word. The SRS didn't explain the radioactive waste, where the radioactive waste came from, or is there some type of kind of leak from the waste tanks that the public should be aware of. Spokesman Tom Clements told the Associated Press the site once generated more than 165 million gallons 625 million liters of liquid nuclear waste, according to Savannah River Mission Completion. There are still 43 of the underground tanks in use, while 8 have been closed. So your ass is in South Carolina or South Georgia or anywhere around the motherfucking WAPs. You need to be on the motherfucking lookout. If you around that area and you see any strange human, that's a like part human, part wasp, and got a part human up top and got a wasp ass. You need to call the police, call the motherfucking Avengers, call Captain Planet, call Miss Frizzle, call somebody to motherfucking come and do this shit and get your phone out. But you might want to have to box. You might have to squab for your motherfucking life if you see a big ass human wasp or a wasp with human legs and a wasp ass. You might have to, or the wasp's eyes and the wasp's ass. Wasp's ass and eyes. Wasp's body, human legs. However the shit breaks down, we don't know. But this is the story or the story of some superheroes or a super villain. This is how Spider-Man became Spider-Man. Now he's swinging around Brooklyn and Queens and all that shit. So this is how the shit goes. You know what I'm saying? And we also have footage of this as we speak. We're going to go to our correspondent in South Carolina. Shout out to the Carolinas, man. Shout out to North Carolina and South Carolina. Shout out to the Carolinas, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go over here and we got the motherfucking me scoop up there. You understand what I'm talking about? We got the scoop, bitch. You feel me? We got the motherfucking scoop. We right here. TRILL World Order. Nobody else is gonna bring you this shit but me. Here we Go.
Well, here's a headline that sparked some interest. Radioactive wasps on the loose in South Carolina. Pretty scary, right? Earlier this month, workers at the Savannah River site, where America's nuclear bombs used to be made, came across a wasp nest. And the discovery started a whole chain reaction of events. Because of the nest's location, right next to tanks where nuclear waste is stored, workers felt compelled to test the wasp nest to see if it was radioactive. And what they discovered nearly blew them away. That nest was 10 times any acceptable level of radiation. And rather than just glow with the flow and let them be, the nest was sprayed with insecticide, bagged up and taken away. But the wasps themselves, nowhere to be found. So now it begs the question, how did the nest become contaminated in the first place, and where are the wasps? Well, the organization overseeing the site insists there are no leaks and that the wasps wouldn't have been able to fly too far from the site anyway. But still, a local watchdog group says something doesn't add up, and there needs to be a detailed report stating how exactly the wasps came into contact with radiation. Maybe it was something they ate. We hear fish and chips is a local delicacy this time of year.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and down.
All right, shout out to Chris Cuomo. I don't know how the fuck they don't know. You know, how can they say, oh, well, we don't see no wasps, but they don't fly too far from, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna tell them you don't know where they at, but they don't fly too far? You know, there's some shaky shit in there. And like I said, y'all be careful out there. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know these wasps, I think it's mating season. It might be a little fucking, I don't know what the fuck they are doing, but this is the shit that I'm got my eyes on. We're going to move on to the next story, right? Hope y'all can stay up with me. Now, a few months ago, I did a story about a golden toilet. That golden toilet was stolen. I did that story as well. And now they found 2 men guilty of stealing that golden toilet. Now, I know I got folks with small eyes. I'm going to blow it up for your blind ass. You feel what I'm saying? So here we go. 2 men found guilty in the theft of a $6 million gold toilet. Now, the glimmering commode and artwork by Maurizio Catalan was stolen during a break-in at Winston Churchill's ancestral home in 2019. Ever since the hooded gang smashed its way into the Bohemian Blenheim Palace, an English stately home that was Winston Churchill's birthplace, and stole a fully functioning 18 gold toilet, more than 5 years ago. The toilet has been missing without a trace. Tuesday, 2 men were found guilty over the theft and the sale of a shining commode and artwork by Maurizio Catalan, the Italian conceptual artist known for other high-profile pieces. A banana taped to a wall. This is the same nigga that sold a banana taped to a wall for $6.2 million. His toilet, titled America, was insured for $6 million. And I think that he might be running the play now that I'm reading this. Despite the high value, it's believed to have been divided up and sold. After 3 weeks, a long trial in Oxford Crown Court, a jury found Michael Jones. They found Mike Jones guilty, 39, guilty of burglary, and Fred Doe. Not Ziggy there, Doe, and Mike Jones, but Michael Jones and Fred Doe, 36, guilty of conspiracy to convert or transfer criminal property. Now, a third man, James Sheen, not Charlie Sheen, but James Sheen, 40, had already pleaded guilty at an earlier hearing. He probably told, too, if he already had a plea deal, to the burglary, transferring criminal property, and conspiracy to transfer criminal property. The police found Mr. Sheen's DNA on a sledgehammer left at the crime scene. So yeah, he told. He took the plea. He told. That's fucked up. All that shit. We left the fucking sledgehammer, as well as in a stolen truck used in the raid. Investigators also found hundreds of gold fragments on a pair of his sweatpants. All 3 men will be sentenced at a later date. The jury found a 4th defendant, Bora Cook, 41, a London jeweler, not guilty of conspiracy to convert or transfer criminal property. During the trial, Julian Christopher, the lead prosecutor, told the court that the crime had begun with the audacious 5-minute raid. Just before 5 a.m. on September 14, 2019, Mr. Christopher said that a gang used the car of the truck and smashed through the wooden gates and that blocked a road up to the palace. Then used sledgehammers and crowbars to smash one of the building's windows to gain entry. Once inside, the gang dislodged the toilet, causing a small flood in the room. Security cameras then captured several men rolling a large item toward the car and placing it into the vehicle's trunk, the court heard. Those cameras also captured their stupid ass carrying what appeared to be a golden toilet seat toward the vehicles. Then they skirt. Then they skirted. All right, I got the video right here. Here we go. Now, as you can see, they got the motherfucking handle, the gold toilet seat. They got the circles for you right there. They got the toilet seat. These is, god damn, they got y'all on camera. This shit don't even look motherfucking real, to be honest. That shit crazy as fuck. That shit crazy as fuck. Excuse me. That's crazy as fuck. Now, Mr. Christopher said that it appeared that the artwork, which weighed over 200 pounds, had since then been split up into smaller amounts of gold and then sold on. Now, during the trial, prosecutors told the court that Mr. Jones had visited Belheim Place to scout Mr. Catalan's artwork, taking a photograph of the lock on the toilet stall's door. Mr. Jones denied any involvement of the raid, told everybody, I got nothing to do with that motherfucking shit. You understand what I'm saying? Told the jury that. And he was interested in seeing Mr. Catalan's art. Then he said that he had even used the toilet. He even took a shit off in that toilet, as visitors were permitted to. So you had to go to the toilet and took a shit in that toilet. That's crazy work. Now, asked what that was like, he said that shit was splendid. Take a shit in a real gold toilet. It was motherfucking splendid, nigga. How the fuck you think I felt? Like a boss, big boss status shit. Now, me personally, I would love to take a shit in our gold toilet. Are you fucking kidding me? The fuck going on? Now, the toilet, which Mr. Catalan had described as both an absurd statement on inequality and a gift to museum goers to get up close to something so valuable, had made headlines worldwide long before its death. 3 years earlier, the artist had installed it at the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum in New York, where it became a social media sensation that visitors lined up to see this all-gold toilet. Mr. Catalan said in an email on Tuesday that the 2019 burglary wasn't exactly the heist of the century, but it was one of the most bizarre. Now, like I said before, that shit was fucking crazy. The artist is known for pulling some pranky stunts of his own. He once stole the contents of a gallery in the Netherlands and then presented the looted goods as his own work. Mr. Catalan said that friends and acquaintances had been for a long time had been absolutely convinced that I was the mastermind behind this affair, even more than the actual theater. Now what I said a little bit earlier, I knew for a fact he's already been guilty of stealing some shit, and he might have been running the play again because he had that shit insured for $6 million. And it's quite ironic that he had that shit insured for $6 million, and the nigga sold that goddamn duct tape and banana on a canvas for $6 million as well. I don't know. We gotta watch Mr. Catalan. He on that, literally. He on bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? He is on bullshit. Now we're gonna go to the last story. Now I know a lot of women like these shrimp boils and all type of shit like that, right? And like I said earlier on IG, I've always had an inkling about the cocaine that's traveling through the waters across the world. And I finally got some motherfucking news to back up my conspiracy theory, and I was motherfucking right. You hear something? Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Cocaine is in the shrimp. You heard right. That's why women going crazy, why their eyes get buckling and see, ooh, shrimp ball. Now, researchers find cocaine in every single shrimp tested in the English waterways. Now, in addition to the cocaine, they found ketamine, Xanax, Valium, and other banned pesticides and other harmful consumer products. Now, 2 British universities embarked on a study to analyze the presence of micropollutants in aquatic wildlife, and they found something that they surely didn't expect. The King's College London and University of Suffolk found illicit drugs like ketamine and cocaine in the inhabitants of Britain's waterways. Through studies focused, they did include both illicit drugs and medicines in its quest to assess how consumer products are negatively affecting rivers, fresh waters, and natural environments such as drugs, but it was still a shock. I don't know how, because they move them things across the water. Now, the study published in the Journal of Environmental International revealed that it just revealed how these waters, how polluted they really are with all that shit, to the point where every single sample of freshwater shrimp contained trace amounts of cocaine. Such regular occurrence of illicit drugs in wildlife was surprising. Dr. Leon Barron of King College confessed we might we might expect to see these in urban areas such as London, but not in smaller and more rural catchments. And then they go into the story of this ain't really about England like that. I did a story a few months ago about the cocaine washing up ashore and that the seafood is getting infused with the cocaine. I did that story about I want to say about 4 or 5 months ago, probably 2 to 5 months ago. Niggas thought I was crazy, but I'm not crazy about that. You know how much cocaine and dope get shipped over? Do you think all that shit is making it? Think about how many bricks is that we wash up on shore and how many ones that, them sharks and all that shit be acting crazy. That's why sometimes they be acting crazy because they got to that cocaine out there in that water. Or, somebody tried to have that cocaine cross the water like they was moving silent. And, somebody found that to flip it over or they died out there. Boat got flipped over, well flipped. Bloop. All the cocaine is in the water, shrimps, sharks, catfish, whatever the fuck is out there in the ocean. Got that dope in it. You know what I'm saying? Now, that completes my theory of that cocaine being in seafood. And just believe that all these cocaine that be in the water, all the cocaine that gets shipped to the Americas, you best motherfucking believe that it's cocaine in that shrimp, it's cocaine in them lobsters, cocaine in that crab. You understand what I'm saying? Fellas, the next time you take your girl out, your wife, your side chick, your little freak bitch, whatever she is to you, when you take her out to a crab boil, when you take her out to the little juicy crab or the Joe's Crab Shack or Crabs Galore or Super Crab or even the Krusty Krab, right? You might take your bitch to the Krusty. You might take your bitch to the Krusty Krab. You understand what I'm saying? When she getting all the way in there, I'm talking about in there, watch her eyes when she eat that shrimp. See if they get booked. I've walked into the crab shack or whatever little seafood place and watched women in there, and I got my food and I left because I don't want to be in with a bunch of crazy women. And then if you see how the women be fucking with the crabs and dropping the crabs and the shrimp in the hot water, sometimes you can even hear the crab scream a little bit. Like, oh. You can even hear them scream a tad bit when they drop them crabs in that boiling water with that seasoning on them. They be getting that water be rolling hot, and the crab be all the way alive, and he don't even know what the fuck going on. He get dropped in there and get boiled alive. If you listen to it closely, you'll hear a scream, like, oh, and they open their mouth like, oh. And you'll hear a scream. Oh. It might be, you know what I'm saying? However, a crab scream has, but I'm gonna join our group for justice for crabs and justice for seafood and aquatic wildlife because the way y'all fucking up this seafood is ridiculous. When last time I've been in a little crab shack, it was my motherfucking shells in there. This shit looked like a war scene. This shit was more shells in there than anything. Just a bunch of shells, and it sounded so violent in there. A lot of cracking and peeling off. I'm like, oh my god, this shit sound like horrific. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta watch these women because if she'll do a crab like that, nigga, she'll boil you too, nigga. She'll cook you too. We're not gonna sit here and act like it's not a whole show dedicated to these heathens out here. You know what I'm saying? Called Snap. Women just killing shit. They got about 87 seasons of Snap. Women just killing shit. They ain't got no shit like that for the fellas. We don't be killing shit like that, but these women be killing. They be killing this shit. Watch how she do them shrimps and them crabs when they're alive and them lobsters and shit. Watch how she crack them. Watch the excitement in her body as she grabs the fucking tool. She put the bib on and grabbed the tool, and then all of a sudden she be all the way in the bag. I'm talking about in there. I'm talking about all the way in there, up elbow deep in that motherfucking crab ball bag. I'm talking about all the way in there. She be having little seasonings out on the elbow, all on the forearm of seasoning, and then the bitch be licking the forearms and shit. The shit is going stupid out here. And then we women eat so much seafood, they start to smell like seafood. You know what I'm saying? The bitch eats so much seafood, now she's starting to smell like a little shrimp down there. She smell like a little freshwater shrimp down there. Or she smell like a little freshwater lobster crab, little crab, crawdaddy, whatever the fuck you call them shits. So we watching all these women that eat all this seafood. Why? Because it's traces in the seafood. Traces of what? Trill pill? Cocaine. Traces of that cocaine and that seafood. Traces of that ketamine, that fenty. Traces of that fentanyl in them shrimps. Yeah, that dope, that good dope. She on that good dope eating that shrimp. Traces of the cocaine. If you know if it's in England, you motherfucking know that it's in America. So I'm not gonna read that whole story. That's something that I just know off the bat. You know what I'm saying? This is the map of it all. But they found all that shit: cocaine, ketamine, volume, Xanax, and a pesticide. So that's a doped up. It's already doped up, and then you boil it. And some of them niggas be inhaling the smoke, the steam of the crab and the shrimp boil. They be, ooh, that smell good. They sniffing that shit. They sniffing that shit. You feel what I'm saying? Now, this ain't the first time cocaine been used in food. They used to put that cocaine in that Coca-Cola. That's why it's called Coca-Cola. So I'm telling you. Now, environmental health has attracted so much attention from the public due to challenges associated with the climate change and microplastic pollution. However, the impact of invisible chemical pollution such as drugs on wildlife needs more focus in the UK and the US, in my opinion. It's a lot of motherfucking crabs and shrimps that probably got that dope off them. Simple as that. Simple as that. Got that dope off them. So fellas, be careful. Watch these women when they eat that crab and shrimp. Just watch them. Just give them that little $40 bag. You know, however many cost. Just watch them. Watch how buck their eyes get. They start looking like fiends. Oh, I need some shrimps. Oh, I need some crabs. Oh, I need some. I be watching like, oh, she on that. Oh no, she on that. Oh no, hell no. You know what I'm talking about? Whew. Yeah, watch them. Just watch them. I seen a bitch the other day. We closing this up. We got 2 minutes left. I seen a bitch the other day on IG cook 2 blue snow crabs in the air fryer and watched them die. And then one of them was twitching. Like one of them was twitching in there. Like she opened it up and one of them was like, nerves are still going. And she thumped that bitch on the head and put that hoe back up under the air fryer. And I said, oh my God, bro, this shit is barbaric. You know what I'm saying? I don't eat a lot of that seafood where you got to crack and peel and all that big ass. Ain't nothing but little water roaches. I might fuck with some shrimps every once in a while. I make some Alfredo or maybe a shrimp taco. But every once in a while. I rarely, probably like once every 2-3 months. I fuck with some motherfucking seafood. But all that crab cracking and crab leg cracking, a lot of this shit ain't supposed to happen. A lot of that is big roach meat, big water roach meat. You know what I'm saying? But if you season the bitch right, sometimes it do taste delectful. Not like a delectable is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, that's about it, man. That's been the Trill World Order. This installment. You know what I'm saying? Look for the future soon. Make sure you set them up for notifications. And hope y'all having a good day. I don't know when it's gonna drop. I might drop it Wednesday, might drop it Thursday, might drop it today as I'm doing it. But that's it, man. Y'all stay tuned and stay trill. Mind your mental to be monumental. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that shit. Subscribe or stay lost. I'm the Trill Pill, and I'm gone.